Hi, my name's Luke. This is the Barber Show. Today I've been cutting hair and we're doing a podcast. My guest today has been Danny Robinson. We've done 2 awesome demos. Click like and subscribe so you get to see all the information that we've done today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, just literally walking around the haircut, having a look at it. It's been taken down to a 0 on the sides already.
Yeah.
There is quite,
Heavy.
yeah, it's quite a heavy weight line going through the sides. So we'll just knock the weight out of there, to be fair. Probably reskin it.
Yep.
Do like a bit of an angled fade on it. The top's cool. Probably feather through the top a little bit.
Okay.
Just work my magic really.
Yeah,
just try and get rid of this heavy line, to be fair.
Cool. All right. What are you using?
I brought a mixture of clippers with me. Obviously my trusty Ulster.
These are gorgeous.
Pro Powers. And I brought, so they're like a cordless 97. So the Pro 3000i, make the battery last forever on them.
Do you know what? I've never actually seen these before in my life.
They're exclusive. There's probably me and Killian who are the only pair in the UK.
Are you the only ambassador for this lot?
In Europe, yeah, in Europe I am. I've been working with Ulster now for about 3 years. But yeah, it's cool. You know, similar to yourself, I get to travel the world, mainly Eastern Europe.
That's where a lot of the action is, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Right, so what I'm doing at the minute is I'm just taking a section to the recession of his hairline. Why
have you chosen that section? You're going to take that out?
Yeah, because there's the weight there, so I'm just going to grip all this out of the way. So there's like, I need to eliminate this.
Yep.
So I'm probably going to start using my scissors first. I'm going to mix it up a bit. I'm going to use a bit of a flamboyant pink comb.
Just for the colour, right?
Yeah. So similar to your haircut before, with a little bit of overhang. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to angle it out, to be fair, so it sits.
So 45 degrees, yeah?
Yeah.
You're still going to leave it disconnected?
Yeah, just similar with yours, you know, to create a little bit of the height at the top. And then just try and angle it in as much through this area. So then obviously I can sweep this back when I've knocked the weight. Yeah, of course. So it just.
So you're cutting that first to give you that kind of like guideline, and then it gives you
just
can work underneath it.
Yeah, of course, just to give me the shape, of course.
Where did you learn your scissor work? Is it hairdressing?
Yeah, hairdressing. I was married to a very highly skilled hairdresser who worked for Vidal Sassoon and Trevor Sorbet, and she showed me loads. She's ace. She's still very good. She teaches now for Trevor Sorbet.
Oh really?
Yeah. So anything that I ever need to touch up on scissors wise,
she helps you out.
Yeah, and do you know what? When I first got into barbering, my scissor game was shit. So I had to.
I remember our first event. After I was using the scissors, you sort of said to me, "There's something I need to learn more."
Yeah, of course. I knew where my weaknesses was and what I had to improve on. You know, and then the likes of social media, Instagram, stuff like that. You then see people's scissor work, which then makes you want to improve.
Yeah.
So, it just went from there, really.
Yeah, because some of the scissor work out there that you can see now is just insane.
Yeah, some of it is, mate. Some of it really is.
You know, some of it is, you know, a lot of style over substance. Like I see people holding the scissors a slightly different way. Like they hold it almost backwards, and they say it's more ergonomic.
Yeah, so like this.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
Do you know what this is? A lot of the time, it's all to do with
tension.
Yeah, and Yeah, I suppose. Is it being flashy? Maybe. Is it not? I don't know. It still cuts.
Yeah, it's still, well, the scissors, you hold them a certain way.
Yeah, of course.
They're going to cut, aren't they? But,
yeah, of course.
If we stay in the European Union, then we can use safety scissors.
Well, yeah.
No. No, they tried to bring one council, didn't they? A few years back, there was that story in the paper. Someone was trying to put a bill through about something to do with safety scissors.
Right.
They were literally these scissors with plastic bits on it.
Yep.
Stop you from cutting yourself.
Yeah, I remember.
Just craziness.
So yeah, once I secured my premises to have my own shop, I went and did an American Crew course. American Crew use a lot of texture razors, feather razors. So a lot of it just...
American Crew course? That's a surprise.
Yeah, they didn't use any scissors whatsoever. They used specifically feather razor only.
I remember you saying that. I didn't know it was an American Crew course, so I thought that was like a Tony and Guy course.
No, it was American Crew.
Oh well.
So again, you can see there's just some massive overhang, you know.
So when you're using the feather razor, I choose not to use one because I find that I can use thinning scissors to the same. I've got a couple of different pairs of thinning scissors.
Yeah.
Which I sometimes can just go through and take out little bits and pieces. Maybe feather raising, I've never really, because I used to use that for longer hair layered to kind of feather around the face and stuff.
Yeah.
And I suppose that the techniques that I used to use were kind of like quite big motion. And trying to bring that back into smaller hair, like shorter hair, I just never could get it to do what I wanted it to do.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it just creates a softer finish using a feather razor, exactly the same as what texturizing scissors would do as well. But I'd still just want to keep a bend on it. I don't want to take it too close, so I'd probably go two finger width deep.
That's the first time you said that, is it?
Let's probably go 2 fingers deep. But yeah, I mean, because obviously a lot of this we want to knock out because the line's so heavy. We want to knock out anyway. So it's just to get the angles to sit on the corners a little bit better. Because obviously we're going to have to taper this out.
Yeah. Are you going to dry it first, or are you going to sort of go into it?
Yeah, do you know what? I probably want to see how it falls.
Yeah.
So again, I'm just going to uniformly wet the front down. I'm going to take another section. And then just through this front bit. And then I'm going to pull it this way, and then I'm going to pull it the opposite way.
You're raising it underneath?
Yeah. Angle it from both ways.
So one of the main sort of points on this American Crew course that they taught you about that?
What
does that do?
A lot of it was to do with head shape, structures, of keeping the corners, because when you first come into barbering and you've got that expression of chasing the line, and you can go too high up. American Crew teach you about squareness and symmetry of jaw lines and
the masculine look is jaw and square.
It's just I just want to keep it soft, really. Do you have a headrest, please?
I do have a
Thank you.
Go out of shot, come back in shot.
Just ask this gentleman just to place his head on there. Thank you. And again, it's just for support on the neck. And then I would just literally go through the top.
So you also do this to create structure, let you keep the corners.
Yeah.
So does it change the finished look of it? Does it kind of soften when you blow dry on the very ends? Does it all kind of like melt into the layer behind it? Is that the whole point?
Of throwing things around.
Yeah. If you don't break your shit before you get to the end of your haircut.
Yeah, there was. Do you remember the very first Southport hair show? the Barber Bash one.
Yeah, yeah.
And I brought the two
therapy for it.
And I brought the two models.
Yeah.
Literally, like, I think I brought Abdul and Nurul, and the main point of me going there was to show the squareness on the top, like on the sides, and how to keep corners. That was just something that I just wanted to preach at the time, and I suppose when you're using a feather razor through the top, it just sits on the fade a little bit more, probably a little bit more flush, because it's softer than using straight
scissors.
Of course, yeah.
Matt, do you want to come and see this? Because a lot of people, you see these on the little minute-long edits you see online, but you think they're only using it because it looks different, and they're clickbait, trying to get you to watch a video online that's not for. There's nothing instructional about it at all. But you can see what Danny's doing. You can see the very ends of it. Can you just do a section, and then just do what you're doing, and then you can see the end of it. You see. So when that dries, it'll be just really soft sitting on the layer behind it, and because he's taken profile sections as well, that'll just make the finish look really good. There you go. Actually, almost sound like I know what I'm talking about, don't I? Not even my haircut.
So again, just perfect.
Makes me actually want to try it a bit more. Actually, thank you.
So with the front, again, I'm just gonna personalise it again a tiny bit. Just gonna take a section and again just literally chip into it, because I just want the structure of it to be able to support the layers at the front. So there's different lengths.
Yeah.
So there's just texture going through it. Can I ask for a face brush, please, Matt?
Of course you may.
Cheers, thank you. I mean, something like what you touched up on before, with cutting hair, I am a little bit OCD with it. I'm always brushing my clippers down, I'm always brushing the client down. And you know what, I'd probably earn so much money throughout my career if I wasn't like that. But then again, does that make us who we are today?
Probably. Well, people appreciate it, they do. This is all the stuff that people, they register in their head. They don't say to people, because you get the guys that go down the pub and talk about, we've all got that one mate that says, oh, you should go and use my guy, he does all this stuff and sets your face on fire and it only costs £5. But the people that actually, the clients that you've probably got and what I've got, are the ones that register all the stuff that you do for them.
Yeah.
They don't go around telling everybody, and they just realise that they know that you're something different, something a bit more special.
Yeah, of course.
Because you actually give a shit.
So it's just like literally building up the haircut into then coming into the centre. So at the minute I'm just working around the perimeter of the hair, and then
you've taken no length off at all.
And literally, exactly. There's not, because I think the length's amazing through the top. So we'll just literally. Nice. That's what a lot of mine is just tailoring through. So then you can see visually, where the weight is through the middle.
Yeah. So some people do point cutting. Do you prefer doing it that way?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's to do with my height. How tall a customer is. I know it is. For me to be able to. I mean, I can point cut this way.
Really tall.
Yeah, I can point cut that way, but
no. But you prefer doing it that way.
Yeah, for me, visually, eye length of going in this way.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
For me to be able to see that line absolutely perfect.
It's that way.
Yeah.
And you're building more structure that way.
Yeah, of course. And like what I say, a lot of it is just to do with me and being 4'1".
At least 4'2". Possibly. Right,
so I'm going to blow dry this in.
Awesome.
A lot of this is probably going to be similar to yours, where I'm going to have to clipper over comb some of the sides out. I'm going to work on the fade a bit more.
Awesome.
Yeah, just take it from there.
You can always see the structure, the way it's just sitting already, just even wet.
Yeah, of course.
Once you put some height of that with a blow dry at the front, that'd be awesome. What's that?
Shine.
Shine.
Shine a light. But yeah, I mean, products, again, I've never really stuck anally to one product throughout my whole career. I've used loads of different ones.
Depends if like
what I like at the time, I suppose.
If your shop is one that's known for just doing classics,
yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of what we do now. Is this that, like restaurants, you can go to a vegan restaurant or a vegetarian restaurant or a McDonald's, but they all do certain things. You know what they do. And it's like barbershops, like some do classic cuts, some just do contemporary, some are kind of more salon based. And I think that there's so many products out there that, you know, I think it just sits in what you normally do on an everyday basis. And
yeah.
In my shops, like obviously we use predominantly uppercut.
Yeah.
And have done for a while because it kind of suits the stuff that we get asked to do.
Yeah.
However, as the years have gone past, we get asked to, you know, the styles change, like with social media, just happen to change so fast. Mm-hmm. So some people like, you know, the whole powder thing, you know. The whole complete matte finish, which is like that kind of falling out of bed look, but it looks like there's nothing in it, but you've got like something that looks a bit like talcum powder in it.
But it's like what you touched upon before, what you said with your previous model. You know, smashing the life out of the haircut with the thinners. Using a feather razor, you're just creating a really nice textured look.
Yeah.
The sides are sitting how I want them to sit.
You can see the shape now.
But it's just without having to overly rape someone's hair with a pair of thinners.
I've seen some of these videos, and there's some amazing videos out there on YouTube where you can see like some fades that are done, and they're exquisite to watch. They're great, but then they pick up a pair of scissors, and it's like a horror film.
Yeah.
You know, for anyone that knows how to use a pair of scissors, you're like, oh no, don't do it. I hid behind my sofa as I watched someone completely massacre someone's haircut. H-Bad told me some like funny things about people that use too many thinners, especially like because he gave me a flat top once,
right,
at a show.
Yeah.
But it was like a flat top pomp. Mm-hmm. And then because my hair's quite thick, he finished the whole haircut, dried it all up before he put any product in. He literally just went through and teased the very ends out. Yeah. Just to help it give it that, you know, when you put the product in, that kind of look, not looking too thick on top, kind of like fraying the ends. Because I've seen so many people have a go at this, but literally stick it in at the root and just decimate their haircut. Sometimes you can overwork it, like it's a horrible phrase that's used so much now, but less is more.
Yeah, mate, I completely agree with you.
You know, if you look at your haircut and you think, you know, people think, oh, I'm charging X amount of money, I need to get it, you know, they're with me for 45 minutes. But if you've done a haircut and you've actually, you know, sometimes when your client shuts up and you've actually been able to cut the hair.
Yeah.
And you're cutting the hair and it looks done after, and you think, well, that's actually sitting nicely. Don't go too ham with it. Just sit back and go, all right, I'm happy about that. Let's go on to the next bit.
Apologies for the whistling. It's the brush. I can play a tune on it.
What do you reckon to the Dyson? I have one.
Do you know what? I like it. It's a good dryer. I'm not going to say it's the best dryer I've used. The best one I have in one of my upper mill shops. It's called Calypso. It's a very, very small handheld dryer. It's fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, better than Paralux. Really, really good.
See, someone bought me a Dyson for Christmas.
Right.
And because I've been like, I just thought they were really faddy.
Yeah.
And, you know, being old and cantankerous, I suppose I'm just anti everything that's, you know, that's old, that's new. I think it's just faddy. And then someone bought it for me, and I wanted to hate it. Do you know what I mean? As I picked it, I was like, oh, I hope it's shit. And it turned out to be really good.
Yeah,
it's just you know, it's not too loud. There's the airflow out of it. It just seems to just dry all right.
This is what.
But saying that, you know, so that people don't think that we're just saying Dyson are great. Mine's broken currently. It's only 5 weeks in, and it's supposed to be a professional one. So sort it out, Dyson.
Yeah, true. I mean, I'm lucky. I've been all right with mine. So at the minute, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an angled balding line in. So what I mean by angled is I want to work to the contour of the skull, the head shape. So it's going to dip
down. Okay.
Yeah, of course. So I want to keep this corner on. Bearing in mind he's had his hair cut fairly recent.
Should we make a guess?
Yeah.
I'd say
2-3 days.
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking more a week.
Yeah, a week.
When did you have your haircut, mate?
3 days ago.
3 days ago. Look at that.
Good, aren't they? So obviously, previously, you know, there's a weight line being left in the hair. We're going to eliminate this out. So I'm just putting my balding line in, dropping it to the occipital bone, same as what Luke did previously.
Yeah, don't fuck it up now.
Bit of brand awareness there.
The only brand that we're going to talk about is Danny's.
Yeah, so from here I want to...
do you do one side and then walk to the other?
Yeah, I never go all
awesome.
the way around.
I started doing that recently. Just
So-
literally completing one side off. Cool.
This, I mean, when a lot come to clipper, they kind of hold the clippers really tight, like a death grip.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Really
I just kind of.
So has that opened up?
Yeah. So at the minute I've got it.
There's 4 points in that, so it's up to
Yeah.
4.
So probably about a 0.4.
Right, okay.
Just literally want to tickle this line out. It is quite heavy.
It is, but you want to try and keep that as square as possible, don't
Yeah,
you? So
of
it's
course. So you just want
taking
to
out little bits.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. Love you.
eliminate the darkness of it.
I didn't realise the half guard sat on the Barber list.
Yeah.
What's the charge like on them? They're all right.
They're good. Yeah, they are. They are pretty good. And then I'm going to go to my trusty
Oh, here we go.
606 fast feeds.
So how long have you had your shop now?
I've had one of them 5 years and the other one 2. I learned so much in the 5 years one that when I came to open the 2 year one, I could iron out a lot of the issues straight away.
Yeah. What was the biggest issue?
The biggest issue when I opened the second one was me being quite naive to the building game and trusting builders to come in and promise that they'd get work done. And,
Oh, really?
them coming for an hour, half an hour, whatever, just coming, pretending, looking like they were doing something, and then
Do nothing.
yeah, and then they just disappear to another job.
And charge you for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I learnt a hell of a lot, very, very quickly. Never to take people at face value.
It's very true. Surely doing this job you would have learned that.
Yeah.
Everyone
of course.
lies.
Of course.
So what made you pick a Gotham theme? His shop's Gotham theme, by the way. Just
Yeah, Gotham from Batman. So it was my son Theo was playing Arkham Asylum. And
Oh, the game, yeah.
Yeah, the game, and there was just a bit in it which showed around Gotham and the Batcave and stuff like that, and you know, the urban decay theme of it all. And I just took loads of pictures on my phone and then started googling it, and just realised that it was quirky. I liked it, and I researched the steel mirror that I've got, and it's unique.
Oh, the big, long.
Yeah, it's unique. No one in the world has anything like that. You know, to say I've got that in Oldham is, you know, fantastic. And I just found an interior designer at the time, someone who used the shop, and my ideas that I put to him, he just got it. He just knew what I wanted. He went away, mocked something up on his computer, came back, and I was just like, mate, that's the one. But it's one of those, if you're doing fantastic haircuts, you know, and you've won some pretty prestigious awards, you need a shop that matches that. And I think decor is definitely a key factor to my shops. When you walk in, you literally go like, wow, no way, this is in Oldham.
Well, you did the same with your Shaw shop as well.
Yeah, of course. That's just on a smaller scale.
Yeah, it was like my first shop. Like, I only had a really small budget.
Yeah.
Next to nothing, and that was to buy the shop, with solicitors and all the rest of it, and then do it up.
Yeah.
And then in the end, I was like, I didn't really have any money, so I ended up just trying to stick to the theme that I had. Well, funny enough, I was thinking of doing a theme, but obviously that costs money. And I thought, I don't know, I was looking at it from different demographics, like the kids, of what they like, or am I playing to this, or am I trying to play to everybody, and all the rest of it. And in the end, it was like a kid in a sweet shop. I just couldn't make a decision. So in the end I thought, well, where am I gonna, I didn't know whether this is gonna take off or whatever, but where would I be happy to stand for 35 years of working and then do it like that? So in the end I tried to make it a bit like how I'd like my front room. And I've never been allowed to actually decorate anything in my life. Yeah. No one's ever given me that, my parents never let me.
No, I agree with that. That's a really good way of looking at it. It's somewhere where you would just want to stand. Yeah. For the majority of your time, and it's more or less like an extension of your living room, like a man cave.
Yeah, exactly. And then I wanted, and as I started to do it, I just didn't want people to have the same, with all the bosses you've worked for. I tried to be, obviously everyone tries to be different to their boss until you realise that your boss had it right and you should have been knocking all the way along. But you try and do everything you can, but I tried to make my shops like a platform for their career.
Yeah,
so then it was more about like, making the environment as cool as I could for the money I had, to make it creative so people would want to do their best work there. So it was always like, when Lacey started working there, we was just the two of us. We were really busy, but we never sped up. We always took our time, because the places that we worked before, we'd always have to, it would always be like, smash it out. It was always about money. And I think anything in life, we're old enough to realise that we come from nothing, we've had nothing. And once you start going after money, that breaks it.
It does.
Kind of force it. Money will, if you're good at what you do, that will come to you. But if you try and think, these arguments of that you see online of like, oh, try and do a haircut in 20 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever. Oh, fair enough, that's you, that's great. But don't be disparaging the people that want to take an hour, because that's how they get repeat business. Yeah. Your client might want to be out and off to work within 8 minutes. That's fine, and you service him. But some people that actually want an hour's treatment, then you have to let them play to their skill set. And if they want to take an hour, let them take an hour.
Mate, I completely agree with you on that.
I think as soon as you start curtailing, it's like clipping the wings of a bird. Like if you've got an artist, and people don't like me calling barbers, but I think some of the work that some of my guys I've seen them create is insane.
Yeah.
On a daily basis, and they stand there and not do this consistently, day in, day out.
Day out, yeah.
And you think, why should I have, you've only done 10 cuts today, even though they were 10 worldies. You should be doing 15 to 20. I just think that if you're a boss and you do that, then you need to have a real look at yourself. If you can't do what they do, if you can stand beside them and do 20 worldies, then do it in 10 minutes, then fine. But I think that's a broken business model, but that's just my opinion. So you've gone on to so they're the Andis guards.
Yeah, I've always used these. To me, they just give.
Sorry, just quickly. So, have you used wild guards on there as well?
I've used a half wild.
And then the rest Andis.
The rest Andis, and the rest trying to knock it out with scissors. I can understand why they would leave that line in there.
Suddenly realise his hair's really hard.
Yeah.
I love it when that happens.
Not hard. Just I would understand why they would do that to get where
they wanted to get to with the top.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Wow. That's a clipper and a half, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is like a cordless version of the Ulster 97, and this, to me, if you're a barber, you don't have 97s with a 1.5 blade ceramic.
Yeah.
It's just buttery. It just literally changes the look of a haircut. You know, there was a really heavy line. You can just work it out. Just flick it out. You can use it over the comb. Just sits completely flush.
Yeah.
So it's nice to get in quite tight.
I'm surprised why Ulster they're not in. I know you say that, you know, that most barbers worth their salt should have a set of these, but
Yeah.
there are not many that do.
No, I know there's not. In America, like,
They're the biggest sort of.
yeah, it's absolutely huge in America. But the guerrilla marketing of other clipper companies releasing clipper after clipper after clipper over in this country, just people buy into that, you know, clipper geeks who, oh wow, this has been released and that's been released. You know, Ulster, I've looked at it, they don't need to release clippers because if it's not fixed, don't break it type of, if it's not broken, you know what I mean? But what they're now doing is they're moving on to the cordless versions, which they needed to do, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know, everything's gone cordless.
Yeah.
You just need to catch up with the times, but it's coming, all of it. You know, 2019, 2020, they're going to release a hell of a lot of cordless clippers, which needs to be done, to be fair.
So other clipper companies need to beware then, should they? Ulster are coming. The big boys are coming
The
home.
big, oh, maybe.
We'll see. I've got a pair of fast feeds, but it was the. Are they actually? Oh no, because they're not UK plugs, are they?
These ones here are Pro Powers. Pro Powers are the same as the fast feeds. The only reason that they don't look the same in like the clam housing is just to do with contracts. And yeah, it's strictly in America that they would use the fast feed, but that is exactly the same clipper, exactly the same.
So you're just working that line out now.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's the line's gone. It's just.
It's just refining it exactly. Because it was quite a heavy line, and I still wanted to keep that corner.
But yeah.
And as you can tell, obviously from this side.
There's one side. And
then pulling stuff about. Yeah, from one side there. And then to this.
Yeah.
Just to eliminate it out. Do you know what? I like how it's dipped at the back. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you know, to create a bit of shadow for the occipital bone.
Yeah.
So we'll probably do the same. Let's match it up.
Looks great. See, it's funny, I look at this and I would have done it something completely different. And it might have even ended up looking similar. Obviously not as good as you, Danny.
Don't be stupid.
But that's the beauty of what we do, isn't it? We all use this, like, similar tools, scissors, clippers, whatever. We'll have slightly different ways of working.
Yeah, of course.
That's how we attack it. But even the shape of that now. See, like, when I see a shape like that, I get envious. Like, I want to just get involved with it.
But you do the other side then.
No. That's your haircut.
So, do you know what a massive pet hate of mine is? Something that made me get into barbering is the front of hairlines.
Oh, but you see my one before?
So when people, like this guy's got a really strong hairline, and I know for a fact a lot of barbers
would have taken that off.
Take that off there, just to make it, you know, really sharp at the front. But then you're just pushing his natural hairline back.
Yeah.
Which.
And over time that causes damage.
And then you end up like the hairline like mine before I got it corrected. But yeah, I was going to a wedding once, and I went to a well-known barbers in Oldham, And these guys, it's an Afro barber, so unbelievable at Afro hair, really, really good. And I asked him to specifically leave the hairline natural at the front. He just completely ignored me, and he gave me a Lego hairline, like literally pushed it back here and squared it off like that. Oh mate, it was the worst. It's the absolute worst.
But that's been brought back now with the spraying.
Yeah.
Like, I just...
Yeah, well, this is the thing, because people bring me haircuts from well-known American barbers where the haircut looks just absolutely immaculate, but it's that, you know, it is the spray.
Yeah, well, I did an event with a barber in Europe, and yeah, it was a, you know, it's a decent little event. It was just cutting hair. It was client after client after client. It was for the consumer, it wasn't for barbers. Yeah, it was good fun, and I, you know, the guy was selected because he was a good barber, and I'm not going to take away from some of his skill set, but sometimes like a lot of the things we were doing in these places were all skin fades.
Yeah.
So we're doing all these skin fades, and like I'm not the quickest barber, as you probably gathered, but I was still happy going through my skin fades and doing my thing. I've never used a spray, whatever. And I looked over and I saw some of the fades that this guy was doing, and I was like, he'd be halfway through, and I'd be like, wow, that's like, is he going to be, you know, whatever. And he'd finish in half the time I was, and I was thinking he should be working out some of the lines and stuff. Next thing you know, he pulled out a spray kit,
right,
and started spraying on like the corners and the actual fade line. And then I looked round, and it looked like an absolute world beater haircut.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
that's not what it looked like 5 minutes ago. But I don't know whether do you demonise it, or is it just evolution of the way the game, game's going?
To me personally, I don't get it, because you're spraying on someone's hair, right? So let's say you're going to a nightclub and you've got the full front of your hairline sprayed on, and you meet a nice chica in the bar, and she says, "Do you want to come back to mine?" You're getting hot and sweaty, then your hairline's going to rub off on her pillow like fake tan, or it's going to drip down your forehead, and she's going to realise that that's not a real hairline.
Yeah.
I just don't...
You go from being 20 to 60.
Yeah, exactly. All your sideburns have run down your face.
I know, well, we could argue that, like, Hayley, Saturday, you can't see her, you'll see her later, but like makeup, like, isn't spraying on a form of makeup? Could you argue? Airbrushing.
That's what it is. It's airbrushing a hairline.
So barbers have like a full airbrush kit.
Is it with fibres, or is it?
Some do it with fibre. It's called Topic.
Topic.
They kind of spray it on.
Fibres. They're better than the other.
I've never ever used one, and I don't know. Sorry, I don't know if that's just me being once again an old cantankerous bastard that I don't want to try anything new. Or I don't know how to use it, possibly. If I knew how to use it properly, maybe I think I'd see the benefits of it. But me personally, I think about the customer in the chair, and I might give him the best look by using alternative methods, but I like the fact that I'm going to give him a cut that will go away and look great for 6 weeks, or however long before he comes back for another look, and then he'll be able to style his hair and he'll be able to try and recreate what I do in the chair, and I think that's part of my job.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but then like makeup, but then like obviously girls do their makeup and bits and pieces and spray and whatever, so it kind of falls into that category, I think. But then, okay, so you're kind of doing a photo shoot look, but does the customer want that? And then to go away and their haircut not actually be as good as what they've made it look great by using these means, and then when they do actually wash their hair in 2 or 3 days time, or a day, or however, whatever, and they lose that look. Do you see what I mean? It's an interesting argument. I can see, playing devil's advocate, I can see both sides of the story, but I don't know. It's an interesting one. Depends how you look at it.
Yeah, I agree.
But I know there's a few shoe shops now that have got the spray kits and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think one of the guys who works in my shop, I think he's sometimes used some of the beard colouring thing just to fill in the gaps. But once again, it's the social media. Everything looks great with a filter on it. What's wrong with having a bit of a gappy beard and a... That's what you were given, right?
Do you know what an amazing example of that is the cruise that we did, the anchored cruise. So obviously I went on that, and there's some Instagram models on there who I thought were absolute worldies. And then you see them in real life when they're contoured out the face and got fillers left, right, and centre, and you're like, really? You look at their Instagram and they're stunning. It's so they're walking around the whole boat trying to find the perfect lighting.
Oh yeah,
just
I remember that.
Oh mate,
take a selfie.
Yeah, you're like, really?
Saying that though, we did a few guys here, didn't we? And
yeah.
we remain nameless and wouldn't have a picture taken
because they didn't like the light. Yeah.
We were on the 6th deck, which was like halfway. We did an event on a cruise liner. It was mental. But we were on the 6th deck. We had a 4-chair shopping and the guy wouldn't have a selfie wouldn't let us take a picture until we went onto the top deck with him.
Just because the lighting wasn't right for him.
We could get better light. Which is, I don't know, it's their jobs, I suppose.
True.
I can see the point, but you see, in my mind, it conjures up too many arguments, and the way my brain works, it creates too much friction. I just like to do my job, them to be happy with it, and I'm good with that. As soon as I start saying, is this all right? And then ask too many questions, or is this right? And then whatever, and then they might go away and go, I didn't like that. And then they tell somebody else. I just stick. My dad always taught me, stick to what you know. So stick to what I know. And I don't know anything about that.
No, I agree.
But it's funny when you see, I find it a bit of a challenge when you get a kid that comes in with one of these blurry American phase, whatever, and it's completely like all these bits are sprayed on, whatever. And it's a bit of a thing, okay, well, I'm going to try and do that completely naturally. That's going to be my challenge, and to see if I can actually do it. And sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. But because it's, I've got a white kid in the chair, and he's showing me this beautiful, Arabic kind of dark skin, green eye, dark hair, and I've got this spotty blonde kid. So have you done exactly the same on that side as you've done on this side?
Yeah, of course. I mean, at the minute, I'm just wanting to just still get rid of this little bit of the heavy line. I'm just trying to use my clip over comb just to try and get it to sit a little bit neater. It was very harshly put in, so to be able to still keep the shape and eliminate that strong weight line has been a challenge, to say the least. But again, a lot of it just
looks great though.
What we touched up on before, just a flick of the wrist, just to, when you get to the top, just to flick it out.
What's the best show you've done?
The best show? I'll say the one that sticks in my mind with me personally was the one that I did at Weller Studios in the early days. I really researched the haircut, the model, where I did a skin fade, Edward Scissorhands, so the top was...
Oh yeah, I remember. That was a real striking image.
Yeah, and I remember someone pulled me at the end of the hair show and said that my look was like the best out of the whole show, and I'd only had my shop 8 months. Yeah. And for someone like that, someone to come up to me and say that, I was blown away. And like what you said there, you never think that you're any good, and that just gives you a huge confidence boost to take that away and think, wow, I can actually stand up there with the likes of these people who I've been watching for years, and cut with those type of people.
Yeah.
Because I'm just from a really small working class town, but I think I always knew I was going to be a barber from a young age. I remember the teacher taking hair gel off me when I was must have only been 6. I snuck it to school. So I knew I'd always fall in the hair game. I mean, looking back on my pictures in high school, I always had really extravagant haircuts. The worst.
But the thing is, how old are you now? Are you allowed to say? Have you lied to me?
Very early 30s.
You're very early 30s?
Yeah.
Well, I'm 26. So
26 stone.
Yeah, when I used to go to a barber, my dad used to give me the money to go, but if we ever had a special occasion that I'd have to go and get a haircut, it would always be, he'd send me like a week or 10 days before the actual event.
So it would sit in.
Because he'd always know the barber would fuck it up.
Yeah.
So I'd go and get like a short back and sides, and they completely hack it to bits, but after about a week or so, it would start to look all right, and then it would be, I'd be all right for the event. But yeah, I actually know I was going to be, mine's not such a romantic story, really. I kind of just fell into it because I wanted to leave home, and I left home and ended up being a hairdresser's junior. But I did, from my first model night, I thought, well, I quite like this. This is a bit of me. But yeah, I had some weird, I was into music, so I used to be in bands, so I used to have purple hair. I had all kinds of I had loads of different earrings in the ears, and God dear. Grunge days, 90s, so best years. The products was not like, you buy your dad's products, or did I ever used to put gel in my hair? I think it's such a different...
Brill cream was huge years ago, do you remember?
Yeah, Brill cream, but David Beckham tried bringing that back, didn't he?
Yeah. Do you know what I used to use? The worst, Dax Wax.
Oh,
the red one, mate.
The red one, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, in the hairdressers we used to have, I used to do, bless him, I don't think he's with us anymore, but I used to do I think it's Gary Barlow's drummer.
Right.
Session drummer. And he used to come in and I used to cut his hair.
Who, Chief Keef?
Chief Keef. No, I think it's Gary, years ago, we're going back a long time. And he used to have red Dax in his hair. And it was like, it was clumps of it.
Yeah.
And he just says, I can't wash it out, I just can't. So he's just going to have to cut it.
May I ask a favour?
What's that?
Do you have a clean straight razor, please?
A clean straight razor?
Yeah, just to do that.
I certainly do.
Thank you.
I just need to find it quickly in all my stuff. And I'll get you a new blade too. Sorry, Mitz, I'm using your razors. Right. I feel like you're off your junior.
Thank you.
Would you like lunches? We used to do that on all our juniors and stuff. Well, when I was a junior, we used to be sent round on a lunch list, and it was just like, you'd have to go to the sandwich shop and get like 16 different baps. I remember. Can we have sweet corn? Don't I have sweet corn? No mayonnaise. Can I like mayonnaise? Oh, fuck off. Teach me how to cut hair, you idiots.
So, when I was quite a lot older when I got into hair, 2020. So obviously there was I couldn't go down the apprenticeship route. I was too old when I went, to ask to be an apprentice. So I had to pay privately to do mine.
What's that?
I had to do a private course.
To do what? Hairdressing?
Yeah, I had to pay privately to do it.
Oh, I got sent out on day release. It's like prison. We used to go along and, I don't know. I don't think I got taught by one guy that taught us hair up. And that was awesome. It was really good. And I still know some of that bit because I plait my daughter's hair from time to time. Muck about with it. It's quite nice working with longer hair. I still got some female customers now, and I do like inverted bobs and stuff like that. I love it, really. There's a girl that she just down the road here, she has this, she's got beautiful hair. And I just sort of do this, she comes in for a haircut. But I think it's just, because we were in a barber, it's like girls obviously don't want to come in.
Yeah.
I think that's changing. I think we get a little bit more. They still get a little bit kind of put off with skill set. That's because hairdressers slack us off so much. See this as the cheaper, quicker alternative.
Mate, I completely agree.
But they haven't seen me cut hair yet. I'm not.
Thank you.
Not the quickest by any stretch. Don't know how the pissed off barber knew that I'm slow.
Quiet. Don't want to slice his hair off.
Such a beautiful face. So you're left-handed and you cut hair right-handed.
Don't, mate,
How weird is he?
Don't.
You notice that?
Baffles.
You
Absolutely
know?
baffles everyone. So
Talk about ambidextrous. So would you write left-handed? Do you write left-handed? You play football?
with my feet.
You write with your feet?
I write
Oh,
with my
lovely.
feet. Do you know what? I am left-handed, yes.
But you use clippers with your right hand?
Yeah, mate, it is,
been
it's
old,
nuts. So when I do come to teach people, it's
What do you need?
baffling. I've got it. Yeah, it is quite baffling. So I'm just using a feather razor again, just to texturize the sides in a bit.
That's really good.
Just need to, again, probably just a little bit more through here. It's hard because due to the fact that where the original line was taken with the previous haircut.
Yeah.
Because obviously I would have dropped that to where
Well
the
low.
eyebrows was, so the transition of the fade was here. But we're just working with what we've got.
Yeah. It looks great. It looks really like that iconic picture that you put out on...
Yeah, that's why when you sent me the models, I knew that I could probably get pretty close to that with this. Right, what I say, me personally, I would have...
Yeah, left the
The
skin there,
the fade would be more. I would have kept the corner on, but you can tell with the back. You know, I've tried to dip it through the back here, just for a little bit of shape, really.
That's key, that bit. I see so many, like, I see some great crops and stuff now, and obviously for a crop you need to go high. But I see some of the crown areas and just,
Yeah, I mean, it's like what I touched up on before, the corners of the hair, even dipping it at the occipital bone, it's to the shape of the skull. You wanna show off a man's masculine shape, and if you take it too high and you lose the corners, you're then touching into women, feminine, rounder type shape.
Yeah. Well, it's just that
I mean, I've seen a lot of crops where it makes the lad who has the crop look a little bit like a lesbian, and it's just because of just rounding it off too much.
Yeah, it's quite feminine look. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. It's just making it a bit more feminine.
Well, it's just fine that if you go too high, by logic, that obviously the curve's head there, so if they go up too high here, then you need to take that corner off for it to make any sense. And if you take that corner off and you're left with this panel here, you have to take that off for it to make any sense. And then you just end up with this really round shape, and then you've literally got, you've got no cut at all, really, with that.
No, you've not.
With zero shape.
Then I can still go through the top.
Oh, do you want to come and have a look at that? That's interesting. So you just put it on your comb?
Literally comb through the hair.
Can you feel that at all? It doesn't pull at all? No? It's got light hands.
So it just takes a tap, but again, it's just another way of not using the thinners, just taking a bit of weight out to the top.
So you don't use thinners at all?
Do you know what? Maybe a tiny bit for the transition of coming into the fade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that would be my
That's interesting.
my only point to.
Two barbers two sets of skill sets and uses tools in a completely different way. Maybe I'm the one that finds that interesting.
So I can see that there's like a little bit of weight through the middle because it's bumping up.
Yeah.
So then, like what I said, just
go through.
Yeah.
I wish I quite like cutting hair when it's dry to see its natural fall.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of want to keep. And again, we're not touching up upon ludicrous amount of sections and baffling people. It's just
cutting hair.
Yeah, it's just cutting hair, just
putting hair on the floor,
keeping the shape. But yeah, I suppose you could
It's great.
go back to this Using these texturizers, just get it a tiny bit closer to here.
Looks really good though, man.
I mean, especially from what we had to work with, you know, I could tell he had very, very cool hair, but it's just literally combating that line. I mean, I won't lie, at first when he sat down, I thought, how the fuck am I going to knock that out?
But it's gone. So
it's gone, fine. Yeah, exactly.
Fine.
But I think that's where having confidence in your own ability, being a barber, not being scared of seeing that and thinking, shit, because then the customer's going to pick up on it. I've seen many barbers dance around the chair, not knowing what they're doing. And it's one of them, as long as you look confident. The line's gone, we're all happy, it's quite blended in quite nice.
It's great.
And again, it's what I was touching upon with having different pairs of clippers. If I just used this one pair of clippers for the whole lot of the haircut,
you wouldn't be able to do it.
No, no, I wouldn't. I'd still be probably struggling knocking that line out. But I know on a certain brand of clippers on a 0.4 that's going to knock that dark line out straight away.
You can just tell that from looking at it.
And then I can go back to my clippers that are, you know, I know inside out, and I can flick them ones on, and it will just seamlessly blend in. Do you have like a wall spiky one? The one with spikes on? Like a metal?
Someone's bound to. Let's go and raid everyone's bloody...
That's the only thing I need for it to be nearly finished.
Oh shit. Right. Someone must have a fucking spiky one. Oh god. Jordan's bound to have one. Oh, there we go. Look.
Straight away. Magic.
There you go.
Thank you, pal. Thank you. So, I mean, I know straight away, as soon as I put this on, what I needed, it's just vanished already. So then we'll probably redress it, put a tiny bit more product on at the end.
You can leave it soft and kind of like natural looking?
Do you know what? I'll probably try a little bit of powder. And then I'll dress it.
Sick. Amazeballs. Scissors though? Are they quarter steels?
Yeah. All my scissors that I use are quartered steels. I'm very lucky to be given a few pairs of them. They're good scissors.
That's it.
Yeah, and then just literally I'm gonna point cut it a little bit more, and then we're done. So all I've done is I've just softened it.
Is your OCD kicking in now?
OCD.
It's nice to know that I'm not the only one that's got severe OCD. I have literally, I know it's going to sound really bad, and when this video goes out, I'll get contacted by a shrink, but I do have voices in my head.
Wow, I'm off, see you later.
No, I do, I've got as I'm still doing it, and I found myself doing the skin fade the other day, and I was literally, like I said to you, throwing a half guard at it. Yeah. Like, just let you know, if there's any younger barbers out there that think they're getting, you know, they're trying to be like us or they're trying to get somewhere, trust me, like, we have days where things just don't go according to plan. Yeah. And I was doing a skin fade, and I literally just lost the will to live, and I was throwing a half guard at it, and I just kept doing it. And in the back of my head, there was a voice saying, just stop cutting, stop it. Could not do it. I had to carry on. I'm having battles in my head. Like, you know, this guy's obviously looking at me like, what's wrong with him? I'm grimacing and having a proper inward battle over the fact I can't stop cutting his fucking hair. But that's the job we do. That's how much care we put in it, people. We actually send ourselves doolally.
It is,
for a bit on his head round here that he will not even see.
I mean, the thing is, I came from the background of doing the very quick £5 haircuts before I opened my own shop. That's the background that I came from. So I've seen it from both aspects. I've seen it because you obviously throwing a £5 haircut, you can't really spend your time on it. You know, I would have
You're
done.
not allowed to. You don't earn any money otherwise.
Yeah, I would have done 6 haircuts by the time I've done this one in the £5 barbers. You know, proper chippy face. But like you say, it was quantity over quality.
Yeah, that's it.
And you know, that is the difference. So a lot of I realised pretty soon after doing that for a few years, I realised that wasn't me.
Yeah,
I didn't really want to go down that route.
Well, I wanted to be super proud of my work. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I want everyone to be, I want to please everybody.
Yeah.
So I wanted everyone to be super happy with the job I'd just done.
Yeah.
But then I'd see them leave the shop, and in the shop under the lighting, it'd look all right. And they'd walk across the road, and I'd be like, oh my God, did I just do that? Or I'd see them a couple of days later, and I'd think, fucking hell, did I do that haircut? It's all down to time. That's why I think the arguments about time and how long you should take, I think you should just take as long as it takes.
Yeah, I do agree with you there, definitely.
You know. I've seen some people, their skill set is so good. I've watched some of those, the Scorum guys. I saw him do a flat top on stage in like 15 minutes. It was perfect. And that's him. That's what he's able to do. It doesn't. I think if you try and be like everybody else, you're just always going to fall short.
Well, I've said this for years. A lot of people replicate other barbers, and they become a watered down version of people who are absolutely smashing the game. And you know, they copy the look of the shots, they copy the look of, and you just like, it just doesn't work. Just be yourself, because that guy is already being the best he can possibly be at himself.
Yeah,
but why are you going to be a watered down version of him?
Just be you. But everything looks good with a filter on it though, right?
Of course.
Versatility of guards there, he's even using it to dress the hair. Look, that's...
Proper jippo, that, isn't it?
Proper jippo. Hey, we're going to call this the jippo pomp. We're going to go and take your picture by a caravan.
And then, like you said, I just want to get a little bit of lift on the front.
So you flow drying right-handed?
Just to fuck people's shit up.
Just a fucking weirdo. Really are.
Just a bad weirdo. that is correct.
A bad weirdo. Awesome.
So we started off with a skin fade through the sides, and we've knocked out the heavy weight line which was left from a previous haircut, and if I put the top down, it's all really nicely feather razored and point cut in, just to create a bit of texture. It sits really neat on the sides. We've dipped it at the back, just gone for a little bit of a classic haircut really. With the classics, you can always you know, get a little bit creative with it, which can lead on to different haircuts and different styles.